You're listening to Gig Talk on KMI Studios. Now here's your host, Tim Kostas.
This is competitive, right? There's some kind of final...
Yeah, who was the best guest on Gig Talk?
Yeah. Oh, are you recording already?
Yeah, but it's okay. I'll use this for something. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Gig Talk. We're here on our second episode. We have not been canceled yet, but I guess we'll see what happens after we talk to the amazing, wonderful Mo Brines. How are you, Mo?
I'm doing well, man. How about you?
Oh, the audience loves you, yeah.
Where did that audience come from?
That's it, in this very small room. But just as a little background, I wanted to tell the story of when I first met Mo. Do you remember when you and I first met?
Not at all.
It's funny how I remember everything, and then people come on and...
Was it more than 10 years ago?
It was more than 10 years ago. So that's outside your realm of memory.
No, I can think back.
Okay. I choose not to sometimes.
I may not remember, but I can think back.
Yeah. So I was in a band called Jackrabbit Slim. We were playing out of Kannapolis. It was actually a bunch of guys that went to church together, and we decided, hey, why don't we played in the church band for years, and we said, why don't we make a band, get together and do stuff? No. Alec, yes.
Mike.
Oh, there was Chris the drummer at that point. Yeah, the first drummer. We had a lot of drummers. We were like Spinal Tap. We just had different drummers. But so we were ready. We did some songs. We were getting ready to go out, but we had no gigs. So there was an open mic at Speakeasy, which was McCabe's in Kannapolis. Do you remember that?
Speakeasy. Where the hell was that? No,
okay, you do remember.
At McCabe's?
At McCabe's.
Oh, that was the later Speakeasy.
Exactly.
Did you guys go play?
Well, I'm going to tell you the story right now.
Or wait a minute. Or did you do open mic thing?
Open mic. What we did. So we wanted to play there because they did have bands there.
Okay.
And so we talked to the bartender, and he said, well, you got to talk to Mo.
Oh, really?
Mo's the man here.
He's
whatever.
the man.
Mo's the man. I'm not kidding you. He said, Mo's the man. You got to talk to Mo. And usually they want you to do open mic, and we're like, okay, we'll go and do the open mic and stuff like that. So we went to an open mic with Mo, and I walked up to you and said, hey, man, we're like a band. Is it okay if we do the open mic thing? And
so I am curious. Can I stop you?
Yeah, of course.
Did I treat you with kindness and respect?
You did absolutely do that.
Okay, well, that's good.
You took that finger that you point out all the time, and you said, abso-freaking-lutely, man, which is a Moism for sure.
You had me worried there for a second.
And so we signed up, and we did
Killed it?
I feel like we did. Okay. Well, you kind of made us feel like we did, too.
Well, good.
We played some 90s songs. Our drummer was supposed to be there, but he just didn't show up, so it was just Mike, Alec, and I. And we did some,
Alec?
Mike, comma, Alec.
Alec. Oh,
and
I gotcha.
Yep. And so we did a few songs, and I think Alex said, hey, how many more songs do we have? And you said, as many as you want.
19.
Yeah, keep going. And so we did really well, and at one point, I think...
did you play in that little hallway that went down into where the room was, where the fireplace was at?
No, it was at that point. It was in that bigger room that was kind of in the middle, like literally in the middle of the whole place. It was kind of like the dining room, I guess.
Oh,
or something.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And at one point, you said, "Hey, I have a request." We're like, "Okay," and you
Bohemian Rhapsody.
Bohemian Rhapsody is what you said, and I don't know if you remember this.
Oh, I was just thinking. The applause section would really get off on the Bohemian.
Oh, I thought you said pause. I was like,
no.
Why? No, we're getting every bit of this on tape. But so you did say Bohemian Rhapsody, and Alec and I did. I see a silhouette of a man, Scaramouche, and you were very, very impressed because we didn't just blow you off.
That's
we actually did it.
I'll tell you, Tim. You know I bore everybody to tears with that same, and they know I'm going to request it, and I don't know how many times somebody will try something
yes.
of it, you know,
yep.
and so can I stop you right there and keep a little thought in your head?
Sure.
Because I want to just sidetrack, but still Bohemian Rhapsody. So there's a guy named Arlo Hoyle, and he had a studio on Rocky River Road, and we used to go out there every year, and it was for his son. He had this big outdoor gathering stage. Chuck Watson would come set up all the stuff. I'd help him.
Oh, is that RZA-Fest?
Yes, RZA-Fest. That's exactly right.
Yep.
And so one night, we're playing along. Greg Reagan gets up on the stage, and he calls me out, Mo. And I'm sure I'm over there maybe doing some moonshine or other things that I'm not supposed to be. And he has me come stand right in front of the stage. And if Greg Reagan just learned the entire Bohemian Rhapsody song and played it for me on his guitar and sang it. And
I never knew this happened.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Blew me away. Had tears in my eyes. And if you ask him today, he'll say, yeah, I can't play it anymore. But I just learned that one time from Mo.
Oh, my gosh. You know, Greg Reagan will be on this show on March 11th, so we'll have to ask him about that.
You have to actually ask him to play Bohemian Rhapsody.
Wow.
See what his response
He'll be like, oh, I've never done that. I'll be like, wait a minute. Listen to episode 2. I know that you've done this before.
So go back to Speakeasy.
Well, I mean, just to finish it up, you were very, very enthusiastic and accommodating, and you were awesome. You did call us Jackrabbit Slam.
Slam.
Like, I'm not sure where you got that, but it's okay.
Hey, that's better than what I could have called you.
Yeah, I know, right? And that was the beginning of a beautiful friendship. So
that's
from that
good.
point on.
How long ago was that, though?
That was in
50 years
2014-ish.
So 2010, 12 years ago?
Yeah, probably 12 if you do the math. Yeah. But it was the beginning of, and you know, Matt. I knew I was going to do that, call you Matt at some point.
Oh, don't call me Matt. That's one of the biggest cuts you could ever give me.
Yeah. Matt, we love you. But Mo and I have been on a long musical journey since then, doing a lot of different things. Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about Mozart, the history of Mozart, and things like that, like where it started, different players that have come along, and things like that.
Wow. So that's a huge endeavor. I don't know how I came across. Oh, yes, I do. Now that I think about it. I was talking to Chuck Watson one day, and I said, Chuck, I'd like to have a meme. Is that how you said? M-E-M-E, meme?
Meme, yes, correct.
Okay, not meme. And so I want to have some kind of identification, and I want it short. You know, and I said something like, I said something like, I don't know. I just gave him a couple ideas.
Examples, yep.
And he freaking comes out with the word Mozart. And I said, man, that's just a hell of an idea. But what popped into my mind next was like M-O, comma, or apostrophe, S, space, art. So it's Mo's art.
Yep.
Right? And so credit to Chuck Watson for coming up with that. And it made sense because for some strange reason, no one wanted to call me by Maurice. Why? I don't know. In baseball, they call me Mo, and in music, they call me Mo. So that's how Mozart came about.
How do you introduce yourself to people? Do you call yourself Maurice?
Pretty much Mo now.
Yeah. I think early on, it was like Maurice, but everybody calls me Mo.
Yeah, that's
just
kind
like,
of probably it.
Probably do it like that.
Because no one wants to say, I don't know, they just don't want to go Maurice.
Hey, Maurice, yeah.
And, you know, I don't mean this mean in any way, and you might need to edit this part.
There's no editing in this show.
Okay, well, then well, I don't know. It's not, I mean this in no disrespectful way because my name is Maurice, but my mother liked French names, but I'm probably one of the few white Maurices you'll meet.
Yeah.
I don't know why that is. I mean, Maurice in the Zodiacs, Maurice Chevalier, who's an actor.
I'm sure all the young people will know exactly who you're talking about right now.
I don't know another Maurice.
The people call me Maurice.
That's Space Cowboy, Gangster of Love. Yeah.
I didn't have a woo, so you got this. That's all I got for you.
That's
right
freaking good.
Or it could be this.
Yeah, that'll work.
There you go. Yeah, we'll give you some more applause instead. So, but I mean, Mozart's gone through many iterations over the years. I mean, how long has Mozart been in operation?
Wow.
In one incarnation or the other?
I don't know. Wow. I'd have to consult my marketing director and find out how long.
Is your marketing director from KMI Studios?
Could
because
be.
He should
Could
be.
It's like, I don't know, man. I do know that over time, I've built my studio, so it's been 25 plus years, and I don't know if probably back around that time is when I identified as
Mozart.
The music I was putting out.
Gotcha. I remember the first time that I saw Mozart was pretty much after that whole speakeasy time. Yeah. I saw outdoors.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that was before I met you from the open mic or after, but I did say to some friends, like, holy shit, look at this old dude playing guitar, man. He's
fucking A, man.
He's freaking cool.
Hell, I was like 30 back then.
Yeah, right? But I mean, the bestest part is that theremin. I don't know what song did you use? I don't know if people know what a theremin is. You probably have to explain it to them.
Probably Losing.
Yeah.
I'm guessing it was on Losing. And here's what is kind of cool is, so, I don't know, a couple of weeks back, you were over the studio and we were rehearsing. And then, so I said, I got something for you. And we played Such a Fool. But I had tried to work that theremin, and it's a real inexpensive version of the true theremin. And as I was working it, and I stopped playing my guitar so I could concentrate on trying to get the notes proper.
Yep.
On Such a Fool. And I looked over at you and you're freaking smiling from ear to ear.
Well, it's a surprise, too. You pulled that out. It's like, there's a blast from the past. Can you give us a quick technical definition of what that is? Because most people aren't going to know what we're talking about.
So a theremin is, we probably were introduced to the theremin during the Led Zeppelin days. Jimmy Page had one up on stage. And it takes basically two hands to operate it, and it would give a sound, and you could vary the frequency and the volume of this theremin. And so it would just make a kind of like a wailing sound. And Jimmy, I think, at least in my day, introduced that.
Pioneered it, yeah.
To the people.
And basically, it's just some kind of wavelength thing that you're manipulating.
Yep.
I mean, it looks like a TV antenna.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
And the closer you can move your hand to it, or release your hand to it, or even move fingers, will change not only frequency but volume.
Gotcha. On the front of like gigging and things like that in this area. I mean, I've been here for a while, left for a while, played with a band in Florida, came back. And
couple bands in Florida.
Yeah, I know. I remember when I first moved there, you're like, how many bands are you in now? It's like 3. But what do you think of the state of the music gigging, not industry, but just things these days? I mean, I had a good conversation with Matt on the last episode talking about how there's certain places that I feel like are starting to dedicate themselves more than other places. We were talking about playing at restaurants, and it's like, well, that's a whole thing because of the way they have it set up and how loud you could be or whatever you're doing. But
or like wine rooms and breweries versus true stages. Like, what was it Matt said in his interview? It was not Freeman's, but you know what I'm talking about.
I do. Yeah.
And see, that's what I think. It takes 2 brains now to come up with
the answer.
Memory.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I think about it would be, money-wise, I'm sad for musicians today because back in the 1980s, I was making back then what I'm making today to go perform at a wine place or a brewery. So maybe things have changed, and you see all the strikes by the pilots, the different people. They're demanding more pay. And have you ever seen a musician or a set of musicians go on strike? No. And so, unfortunately, we're more about, I think, the ability to get out and perform either cover music or your own music just for the satisfaction of being able to perform and possibly touch someone in the audience.
Sure, we got you. And on that front, I mean, you're more of a proponent or a fan of original music, correct? From the time that I've known you.
I can't stand original music, really, to be honest with you. No, I'm just joking.
I hate my own songs.
No, it's like, I don't know. It's, I think original music, let's say that you write, because all music is original, it just comes out of you. You get an idea. What I like to do is go out and listen, but mainly focus on original material. So if you were to be in my studio right now, I could show you my CD collection, and honestly, 80% of that CD collection is all original material from people I've known throughout the United States, because that's where I draw inspiration from. It's I'll give you an example. So Roy Clark. I see him perform on what was that thing? Hee Haw.
Hee Haw. I was hoping you were talking about Hee Haw.
Yeah,
I actually love that show.
Yeah, it was. And so Roy Clark gets up on stage and he plays Folsom Prison. And when he gets to the line, "I shot a man in Reno," and he goes, "Jugga, jugga, 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 jugga," and he's aiming his headstock towards the whole freaking crowd. And I thought, I'm stealing that, man. That is so good.
Wow, that's fantastic. That is cool.
So original music needs to be written by, I think, hopefully every musician out there. I think they need to write and try to put down and encourage others to play what's in their heart.
Gotcha. Do you think that the fact that, I mean, I would hope, and I know that most people I know don't feel this way, but you're not going to make any money on original music as much as you will from doing covers. I mean, the places that certain bands play, that they want people to play the music that everybody knows and things like that.
Right.
I mean, it's obviously a deterrent for good musicians who could take the time to write some things, to take that time and do it. It's like, well, why even put these songs together? I don't know if the passion is there anymore that people used to have. At least, hey, I'm going to make a record. I'm going to do this. I'm going to have it for myself. I'm going to do whatever. Or do I just go straight for, nobody wants to hear that, I'm going to go out and...
Well, think about this. If I were standing on stage with you and we're going to do bum 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 bum, you know, it's recognizable. Smoke on the Water. Who is that? Deep Purple. It's like, now that's kind of from my era, you might say. But so if I played a song called Sometimes by myself, the only real connection from the audience to me would be, are they enjoying my vocal work, my presentation on the instrument that I'm playing this on? They don't maybe necessarily think that of all the hours and the heart that was put into this kind of music, because it's not mainstream.
Yep, gotcha. And so, mainstream is pretty manufactured these days, and that's the thing. It's like,
absolutely.
And so, I mean, I guess all I would say is that you would want to encourage musicians to, whether it's just for yourself. I mean, I've done it myself where it's just, hey, I'm going to write these songs, I'm going to put these records together. If they sit on my shelf, at least it's an accomplishment of something I've done. If somebody likes it, they like it. If 5 people share it, they share it, or whatever. But you can't give up hope with something like that.
I agree. And maybe to reinforce that thought would be a compilation of additional musicians, to say, hey, I've got this idea for a song, and it kind of goes like this. And yeah, I've recorded it, but I'd love for you, if you'd like to work this into our cover music that the people would enjoy, and I'd like for you to play what's in your heart, because many times I get musicians that say, so what do you want me to do on this? And I say, whatever you'd like to do.
Yeah.
As long as it's in time and tempo, and so I encourage that. Now, I will also say, if you don't end up with an idea on what you'd like to do, let's say a drummer, then I do have an idea what I hear in my head from the song I wrote.
Yeah.
So I really don't like to ask a person, stay with the chord pattern, the structure, maybe the riff, but I don't even mind morphing the song on the way the other people want to do it. I've heard from people when I've sat down and played an original song with them, Mo, I've been playing this song like this for 30 years, so it goes like this. Well, that's cool, and I enjoy that, but could we maybe morph it a little bit and change it the way to give me some feel into your song that I enjoy playing?
Gotcha. And the thing is, that's where some magic happens too. I mean, absolutely, where, oh my gosh, like I never would have heard that or thought of that or done whatever. Well, what we're going to do right now is we're going to take a quick break. We have to do a couple of commercials for our sponsors, and then we're going to be back, and Mo is going to share a song with us, and we'll talk a little bit about that. You're listening to Gig Talk on KMI Studios.
Stay with us.
You're listening to Gig Talk on KMI Studios.
Honey, wake up, wake up! There's a 6-foot cockroach in our doorway.
Go back to sleep. You were just dreaming.
Looks like it's time to call Razor Pest Solutions. Our skilled technicians will be there fast, ready to give you peace of mind. Cutting-edge pest control that you can count on. Razor Pest Solutions. Pest, termite, wildlife. Call us at 980-420-3050 or online at razorpest.com.
Tired of the same old channel surfing on a Tuesday night? How about a little excitement with Music Bingo at New Sarum Brewing? With your host, Richard Wagoner. After stints hosting both Jeopardy and The Price is Right, Richard now brings the fun to New Sarum every Tuesday night. Folks, this is not your grandma's bingo. It's got a little something for all musical tastes. From Dolly Parton to Korn, from Run DMC to Roy Clark. Get ready to be a winner. Brought to you by New Sarum Brewing and RW Entertainment.
Music Bingo at New Sarum Brewing, 109 North Lee Street in Salisbury, North Carolina. Every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. You're listening to Gig Talk on KMI Studios.
Hey everybody, we're back here on Gig Talk with Mo Brines. Mo's going to share a song with us. Tell us, Mo, what we're going to be hearing right now.
So we're going to listen to a song off my first CD. And why I'm so proud of this song is it's the third song I ever recorded in my studio, but it was my first collaboration. And I'll tell you a little bit more about it later, but listen to the different artists, because I simply wrote only the melody and sang one verse and chorus on this. All the rest are 6 other musicians.
Okay, and what's this called?
Star Over Charlotte.
Okay, here we go, folks. Star Over Charlotte from Mozart. Check it out.
The memories come along, and I'm still missing you. The timing was all wrong, and I know you're still feeling blue. Like a slow melody that's playing to both you and me, but the silence in between, it binds our hearts to this ring. There's a star over Charlotte tonight, brings me home. Charlotte tonight, I'm walking into the light.
Just the other day, a life was lost. I know it's part of our lives, oh, but it's such huge cost. Can only begin to know souls travel in time. One thing's for sure, my friend, we'll all join the line. There's a star over Charlotte tonight, shining above us like daylight. Little heart search the sky for hope. It right. I never had the chance to say goodbye. Babies, don't you cry. I'm everywhere you are.
gosh, dude, that was really freaking amazing.
It's a hell of a song. Do you want me to comment on it?
Yes, actually, that's what I want you to do, is tell us how the crap you put that whole thing together. That was gorgeous.
So this is a long time back in my studio, but the first song that I ever collaborated on. So the third song I'd ever recorded in my studio. And I was trying to learn my recorder at the time, and I was on something called VS Planet. And so that simply was in relation to the machine that I'm using to record with, right?
Gotcha.
The Roland. And so I heard these guys do separate things, and so I chose the drummer, the bass player, the guitarist, a vocalist out of Gastonia, and a sax player in Charlotte that I actually play baseball with. And so there were 7 people on the song, and all I simply did was write the melody on the guitar. And what was interesting to me, so I learned this right up front, most every one of those guys came back immediately and said, yeah, we'd be glad to do something on this. And of course it was a drummer, bass player, guitarist, and 3 separate vocals and the sax. And they wanted to know what is the song written about.
Gotcha. Yep.
Right, which makes sense. So, and I didn't offer that up front, so I told them, and I'll tell you that story now. So I played baseball in Charlotte for a long time, and this was a very good friend of mine, and he was a firefighter, and he played on an opposing team, and he was at the fire department and had a heart attack. And they worked on him but couldn't bring him back.
Oh, my gosh.
So he left behind a wife and 2 children. And it affected me so much. And I think many times that's why we write music. At least I do. An emotional thing will cause me to write a song. So there's many songs, Tim, that you've never heard, and others will probably never hear, that I've written one time only, and those have been in probably 10 or more songs, and it's about things like this. So I don't perform this out live because it's kind of sacred to me and the family, so I just don't do this song. And of course I can't do it because I'm minus, 6 other musicians.
Right, but I mean, it is a gorgeous piece of music, and it should be shared, but I mean, I understand where you have your feelings about that, but boy, would I love to see you do that sometime somewhere, or some version of it at least.
So what's crazy about this song is the guy that opens up the song with a violin, and of course a violin is exactly the same thing as a fiddle, and when I asked about that years ago, I asked somebody who was a player of that instrument, I said, what's the difference between the two? And they said, well, it simply depends on how you play it. It's exactly the same instrument. So this guy was asked to play the lead solo because I had heard his work, and it was excellent. So he actually hit me up and said, I also play violin. Can I play an intro? So he played the intro to the song, and I did this without a click track, so I provided them simply my rhythm guitar work, and that was it in the story behind it. And they built the entire song.
Oh my gosh!
It was 64 tracks, and so that was my first mixing and editing and mastering of a song. And
what a way to start! That's fantastic.
I'll tell you what, they overwhelmed me. They were so good. It was like tears in my eyes, and so I took this song and presented it to the family, and I played it for hundreds of baseball players that met me out in observance of this guy Kent Long in my baseball community, and so it was a big thrill for me to enlist other musicians to fulfill a song that meant so much to the family and to this guy's life.
That's fantastic. And, you know, for the whole time that I've known you, community has been a huge part of,
it is, yeah,
of what you are, what you do. I mean, Matt and I were talking last episode.
Oh, don't listen to anything Matt says.
You know, well,
or was it good stuff?
It was good stuff.
Oh,
it was
wow.
Like, yeah. He is a proponent of the music community, as you are, and I don't think I've known anybody like you that will take the time to nurture other musicians and take time to show them things, teach them things, go to open mics and things like that when you don't really need to do those kind of things anymore. And you're the one that said to me at one point that this is a good opportunity for somebody that's a little more seasoned to be able to go there and support somebody that's just starting out, or give them some tips, or do things like that. So just know how appreciated you are for doing those kind of things.
I think it's important to tell a musician, I will never say you need to or you should. I like to give them an idea, like, consider this, here's an idea. And it does blow me away, honestly. I've had over 180 musicians in my studio, and I can tell you probably 90+% of those musicians are always open to ideas.
Sure.
Which is pretty cool, because I can give them an idea and it's their choice to adopt it or not, but it gives them possibly another idea during the song.
Yep.
And they may rearrange your song because of that. And like, I can tell you one time, Three-Legged Dog was my first 5-piece band that came into the studio. John Solomon is the guy that fronted that band, and John is still around today in Concord. He's a hell of a vocalist and a hell of a good musician. And they were playing a song called Black Tie Party. And so they were kind of trying to understand what's the best way for us to record the song, because they didn't really have it totally figured out. So I said, well, just humor me for a little bit. Let's keep the guitarist, and John, of course, you're singing, and let's take Lee, the drummer, and take him off the kit. No congas, no bass, no nothing else. And I strapped a couple 2x10 pressure-treated pieces of wood together with electrical tape. And I said, Lee, just sit down, put it on your lap, take your drumsticks, and beat out on it, the way you feel it ought to go. And so they did, and they loved it. So
wow.
There you go. There's an idea just to give somebody something, and they humored me, which was pretty cool.
That's fantastic. There was a time that I was in a studio in Rhode Island back in my Boston days that the engineer was really kind of like...
An asshole?
No, he was... I mean, that does happen too, but not this guy. He really was like an extra member of the band. He had so many ideas, and we definitely adopted a lot of those things, but we did some crazy things. Like, we were looking for a certain sound, and he took a vacuum hose and taped it to the microphone, and the guy sang through the vacuum hose just to get a certain effect.
Kind of like a channeling or something.
Yeah, we beat on a metal bulkhead door to get a certain sound and things like that. This guy always came up with these crazy ideas, which in this day and age you could probably do digitally with some kind of effects and things like that. But in those days, and at that point, he was just so creative, and it's so amazing for musicians to be able to have somebody like you, somebody like that guy, that have these ideas that are outside the band and can say, "Hey, listen, did you think of this?" And you said it to me. Humor me right now, and just let me just try this.
Oh no, I'm not going to let you talk anymore.
That's it. Done and done. But we're going to have to wrap things up in a few minutes. But what do you got going on? Where are you going next with Mozart?
I'm not sure. I think I want a 7-piece brass section, and I'm thinking like congas, dual drums.
Oh, sure.
2 bass players.
Yep.
And about 4 or 5 vocalists up front, and I think that will give a good filling sound.
That sounds good. And then you'll play like a wine room and make $200.
Yeah,
and you'll each make $15 a piece.
Yeah. But it's all about the music.
Hey guys, if you want to hit up Mo, he's got a great project that will make you $15 a gig. So,
but seriously, so my vision now then simply would be a trio and possibly move into the a 4-piece, but it would be a basic set of musicians. Your guitar, your bass, percussion, not necessarily drums.
Gotcha.
And the ability for each of the musicians to move from one instrument to the other very quickly. Yep. So while someone would be addressing the crowd to say thank you very much for coming tonight, the bass player just moved from bass to ukulele, and now we're ready to kick off the next song within a matter of seconds. And how often do you really see that out there in the music community? So it's not like it's a brand new idea or anything like that, but it's something that I think misses the mark of true musicianship, which I mean by taking it to a different level, meaning, more than one vocalist could take you to a different level. Sure. Those kind of things. So that's the interesting part for me with regards to
how you can
music.
take something like acoustic music, but maybe give it a new element that is part of the showmanship of the whole thing.
Yeah,
too.
like theremin.
Yeah, and more theremin. That's
more theremin.
Well, I'm glad we wrapped back around to that. Mo, I want to thank you for coming on KMI Studios, coming on Gig Talk. We love you, man, and we will see you again soon.
Yeah, and so KMI Studios, thank you for the exuberance, the vitality, the thoughts, the vibrant, just the anxiousness to be able to do this for other musicians at your time and expense and cost of trying to give people some place to go listen to the local community of musicians that have ideas and want to share that music with people local and outwards of that, like the Charlotte and vicinity.
Fantastic. Yeah, that's what we're all about. We really want to do this, just tell stories about being in the gigging world and share music of the local community. We don't have as many opportunities as we used to just kind of all get together and play and things like that. So, exactly. So, all right, man, we thank you, and we will see you guys next time on Gig Talk.
KMI Studios.
You're listening to Gig Talk on KMI Studios.